Hello, hello. Let's have a quick look at the FT news feed, November 23rd, 2022. War in Ukraine. This is the latest. UK sends Sea King helicopters and 10,000 artillery rounds to Ukraine. Still no boots on the ground officially. First delivery of piloted aircraft marks stepping up of support to Kiev that also includes supply of winter kit to troops. So, if you're sending piloted aircraft, does that mean you're supplying the pilots? When they say UK, I guess that's the RAF. Could have a look at that in a second. Moral money, interesting category. Asset managers' dirty bets on coal, plus a look behind Saudi Arabia's big talk on renewable energy. So that means the world's biggest polluters are the world's biggest investors in renewable energy, or at least that's the rhetoric. And where they say asset managers' dirty bets on coal, who are those asset managers? What difference does this make to anyone who's either indirectly investing or attempting to breathe clean air? Robert Shrimsley, the true Brexit divide now is between pragmatists and zealots. Both Sunak and Starmer face ultras within their parties who are not keen on compromise. Okay, so both parties are facing similar problems. UK economic growth, UK economic activity shrinks as recession fears mount. Majority of manufacturing and services businesses report contraction for fourth consecutive month. Okay, so that sounds like a recession to me. Apparently, it's the sixth month that makes a recession 2 quarters in a row. Best books of the year 2022, from economics, politics, and history to science, art, food, and of course fiction. Our annual roundup brings you top titles picked by FT writers and critics. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. There's big news on Scotland today. Scotland needs go-ahead from London for independence vote, court rules, which they're obviously never going to get. Supreme Court says Scottish Parliament does not have the power to legislate for referendum. Supreme Court, which is in London. Eurozone economy. Eurozone business activity contracts for fifth consecutive month. Purchasing Managers Index shows signs of improvement in supply chain delays and confidence. That's so funny, isn't it? They say bad news at the top and make it sound like good news at the bottom. Very strange. I mean, obviously both can be true, but it's the way they say it. Pope Francis sets off a contest over the future of the Catholic Church. An unprecedented global consultation of the faithful is galvanizing rival liberals and conservatives. And then another book section, FT Series Best Books of the Year, Fashion. Lauren Invick selects her must-read titles. Food and Drink, Art World's Glitterati. A sprinkling of light on the canvas is an increasingly radical act. Okay. And then Lex, Turkey, Egypt. Fresh Gulf funding would tell investors to steer clear. Erdogan will face less pressure to abandon ruinous economic policies if he can secure investments. Okay, so he's been making what some people call strange decisions, but if he can get the backing of the big powers, then he can make as many bad decisions as he likes. Everything will still be cool because he'll have money. US tax Q&A, need to know, what can I do about fiscal drag? Everyone will pay more tax after the autumn statement. Don't know why it says US tax if it says autumn statement, because one's American and one's British. Inside Politics, I think this is run by Stephen Bush. Labour's tougher line on immigration comes at a cost. While Scottish voters share similar attitudes on the issue of movement to the rest of the UK, views on Brexit differ. That's interesting, isn't it? So Scottish voters are well up for having free movement so they can move around, but English voters don't like Brexit. Or it would appear. English voters like Brexit and Scottish voters don't. So I suppose, yeah. I mean, according to that, Scottish voters, they want to be able to move around Britain, but they want to be able to move around Europe. And that's something that London is preventing them from doing, supposedly. China backs 2 stronger property companies with a 16.8 billion credit line. Vanke and Midea first to benefit from government support package for struggling sector. European gas prices rise after Russia threatens to curtail supplies. Moscow says it could limit flows to the region as early as next week. So Europe is attacking Russia and yet at the same time is complaining about Russian gas not being supplied to it as it would like. European business confidence hits rock bottom. Corporate US also gloomy about region's prospects, according to key survey by industry body and US think tank. De La Rue, they print cash, warns on profits after restructuring changes. Credit Suisse forecasts $1.6 billion loss as wealthy clients withdraw funds. And Apple iPhone factory workers clash with police in China. Violence erupts at Foxconn plant in Zhengzhou as COVID cases rise across the country. We could look in more detail at some point, but I think for now that's enough.